Thanks for coming back to the channel. I appreciate you checking it out. Today's video, something special for you. Nothing new, not a new unboxing or a new expansion or anything like that. This is actually a storage solution that I have that my wife built for me uh, a long time ago. We'll call it 10 years or so. Probably a lot more than that. More like 13, I think. But yes, so this is a storage solution for Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. We have a complete set, and as you know, with the Fantasy Flight games of that time, and even games today, it turns into a stack of boxes. So she came up with a different idea for this. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. Let me know what you think of it, and then we'll come back and wrap this up.
Okay, so as you can see here, I've got the trunk ready to go. I did have to put a little bracket behind it to hold it in place. Hold the lid in place when I open it, because it won't stay open on its own. It'll just, the hinges aren't set to stop, they just flip all the way back. So anyway, let me get the lock off of here. And this lock is just, you know, a standard padlock. It kind of looks like it could be an old lock or something, but it's just a regular lock. So nothing fancy about that. But anyway, up under the lid here, we get this moved out of the way here, and then it's jammed there a little bit. There we go. So the first layer here, as I move the lid back, is all the cards, as you can see. So this is all the stacks of cards for all the expansions and everything else. They're all in individual stacks for each type. So you've got all the ones for all the different neighborhoods and each of the different boards. You've got the cards for the equipment and the special items and the injuries and the mental damage and the gates and the mythos cards and all that. The other good thing is this whole top section actually comes out of the box, so we wind up setting it up on the table and using it as a card holder there, so we don't have to take all the cards out. The game takes up a lot of space anyway, but we have a very large table that we use for this. The top section up here is where the boards are kept under a couple of leather straps. On the left is the main board. On the right is the stack of the expansion boards. I'll get to them in a second here. And what I'm about to show here, I believe, is this little container. Yes, this little container is one of the little doodads that my wife got for this to hold things. I think initially we tried to use it to hold the character stands, but right now it's currently empty and a little jammed shut, so I'm not going to open that up. These here are the epic battle cards that were designed by Richard Launius. I used to game with him in Georgia when I lived there. We had a weekly meetup at a college up there, and he was one of the people in our game group, and he was trying out this epic battles thing, which did eventually get worked into the game, but at the time it was not in the game yet. And these are the little cards he designed to have like the epic cinematic battle with the great old one, and he gave us all a copy of those, so it's kind of a special thing just from him. So designer only thing. Alright, so here I'm going to show off the boards. As you can see, there's just a couple of leather straps that are nailed into the lid to hold them in place. This is the main board here for the base game. Yeah, nothing special about this, just the base game board. Excuse me. And then the other boards over here are going to be the expansions. So yeah, this one is Dunwich, I believe. Yep, that's Dunwich. So as soon as I get my back out of the way here, I probably could have set the camera up a little better than this. Anyway, once I get my back out of the way here, I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to move this card section out of the way and show the inside of the trunk, and here we go. So first off in here, this is where all the rest of the components go. We have a bag here. It's kind of a leather, no, not leather, I'm sorry, kind of a burlappy kind of bag. We just use it to hold all the different character tokens and monster tokens and all that. We do use it for the monster cup when we're playing. We just get the monster tokens in the bag and use it for that. You know, it's just this weathered old bag. The next bag over here is kind of a velvet bag. These are all thrift store items or items that my wife made. This one we use to hold the Great Old One cards themselves, as well as like the heralds and whatnot. But yeah, that just protects them, and it just looks fancy. I think next, yeah, the next thing is just the Plano. So again, nothing really thematic about a Plano, but with all the tokens in this game, you have to have something to hold them, keep them separate, and nothing really beats a Plano. So nothing special about it, but you know, it is what it is. But it's a great thing to hold your tokens in. So this container here, we got this. She felt that it looked like a brain canister of like a fungi from Yuggoth or something. But we use it to hold some stuff here. I'll show you in a second once I get it open. I think it might be like a milk canister or something. I don't know, but it's another one of her thrift store finds. As I get it opened off camera here. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So this holds all the gate tokens. So we just keep all of those in there. We don't necessarily use this canister for gameplay, but that's what we keep the canister. They keep the tokens in that. Now this box here is really cool. This is another one of her thrift store finds. It's this gorgeous little wood box with this old school latch on it, and we use it to hold these aftermarket acrylic gate holders and monster token holders. So these little gate holders here are acrylic, and they have like a little clear section there to hold the gate vertical. So all the gate tokens just kind of sit in there very loosely and upright, and it's very cool. These monster holders are really cool too. However, while they look great on the board, they hold the monster tokens straight up, and they have these tentacles on them and stuff. It looks great. The problem is that little slot to hold the tokens is a little snug, and it tends to kind of wear out the monster tokens. So we don't actually use those holders too much, but we do use the gate token holders all the time. Those things look great, and that way they don't block the board spaces, so you can still see what is in the space with the gate in play. Of course, the rule books are here. The first two rule books are separate from this because they don't fit, because that was the old square Fantasy Flight rulebook size. Then they switched to a more standard magazine size. So for those, we keep them in this old folio here, document holder. And this has all the rules in it, all the ones in the small boxes, the big boxes, everything. The only thing that's not in here is, of course, Dunwich and the main game, because they don't fit in this because of the size of those manuals. But these look really nice in there, and the folder itself is very weathered looking, so it looks like an old detective case file or something like that one of these investigators would have. And it's kind of beat up looking, and it's got this band around it to hold it closed right here. And then the last thing is going to be this little map folder here. Actually, that's what it is, but it holds the investigator sheets themselves. But it's got this little plastic window in it. I think it's like a old World War II or something, like an army style map holder. But yeah, it just holds all the investigator sheets in there very neatly and securely. But again, all this stuff looks like it would be something from that time period of like the 20s. And it all fits back in here. Now the problem with this is, and the only problem I have with this, is that this trunk weighs a ton, and it doesn't really work for transporting your games and taking them, taking this game anywhere. You can't really do anything else with it other than keep it at home. This game has not hit the road in years, except for moving from house to house. But as time has gone on, this isn't really a game that I transport to game stores or conventions anyway, because it's such a large game. So anyway, let me get back to my final thoughts here, and we'll wrap this up.
So that's the container trunk. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you have a storage solution, anything like this? Is this crazy? Do you think it's a terrible idea to have something that you can't transport anywhere? I don't. I have enough games that I can transport places that Arkham doesn't need to go anywhere. I think Arkham kind of outgrew the getting taken to the game store days long before my wife built that trunk for it. But it does protect it really well. I mean, those cards haven't been messed up or anything. And with the fact that all of them need sleeves, that's one of the games that kind of got away from me early in my game collecting, where I've got all this stuff for it, and I've got thousands of cards in there, and they all need sleeves, and that's another investment. So Not sure if that's ever going to happen, but because it's being stored so carefully like that, nothing gets to it, and it's very safe. So anyway, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I just wanted to kind of show that off to you. It's one of my treasures of my collection. It really kind of takes the game to another level, and it's definitely a nice treat for the eyes, you know, just sitting there and everything. I think if I ever get around to it, we might have to do a wood burn of an elder sign or something on the top of it. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.